everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, we're going to talk about a subject matter that's going to come to a head in the next 1 to 2 years. Financial freedom papers are going to be necessary. It's getting bad out here, ladies and gentlemen. Statistics don't lie, and it's getting scary, but you will never know based on what has been the activity on the stock market. But we're going to talk about this, and we do have solutions as usual. So welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And of course, where are the emerging millionaires at? The Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like I'm going to have to actually do something here because I can't believe that we don't have the additional stream going on. This is interesting. I'm going to see if I can add these guys in. But anyhow, welcome once again, and please make sure you share the videos. Why do you share the videos? Because you never know who's out here looking for information, who doesn't even know this information. And of course, we all want our freedom papers here in 2023, 2024, 2025, because you're going to have to get yourself in check. I know you can get credit. I know you can make extra money. But what you may not understand is sooner or later, there will be a tipping point where your money is almost worthless, meaning you're going to have to spend a whole lot more money, not just a little, a whole lot more money to maintain your lifestyle. The numbers don't lie. We're going to talk about that in a second, but let me see who's in the house tonight. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He has the icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel as well as a subscriber. So thank you so much for that, Laverne Penix. And he's also known here, in case you don't know and you're new here, this is Mr. Cool. He's in the house tonight. So I thank you. And he brings his tagline. He says, "Hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and trailer. Thank you so much for letting me know. That's a good sign. So everybody's, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit the all notification bell, because less than 10% of the people will receive a notification. So that means you should sign up for the email list. How do you do that? You go to the description box, or show more box now, and down below it near the very bottom, it has sign up for the email list. That would be greatly appreciated, because I generally send out an email every time we are getting ready to do a live stream or when I upload a new video. All right, let's see who else is here. Victor Marrero is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he too has the icon next to his name. And he brings one of two taglines. Hello, all. Let's do this. And that's what we're going to do. Information. It's very nice to see you once again, Victor Marrero. I greatly appreciate it. And let's see what we get into tonight, because in case you're new and do not understand the financial freedom paper reference, it's not the old school reference where you got your freedom papers to walk around after you're a slave. It is financial freedom paper, because that's the one that you're going to need to actually be walking around so you're not a slave again. You got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, there's different degrees to this, but there is financial freedom papers, and you need to set yourself up with those. You can't just think of them out of thin air. You can work hard and still not get your financial freedom papers, because there's going to be things taken away from you, meaning safety nets, meaning some of you right now have jobs and you have to pay for your health care and health insurance, right? What happens when you don't have that job and your job doesn't pay part of it? and you have to foot the whole bill and you have no coverage? What if you don't have coverage for other incidences and you're not able to save any money? So therefore, you, when you have a rainy day, aren't able to take care of that rainy day. What if you're out here and not making your money work for you while you're sleeping? What if you think you're six-figure earner and you're thinking, oh, I'm all right, I'm okay, all is good? Well, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be in for a rude awakening if you think everything's going to be good. Because I've been telling you the middle class has been wiped out in the last 4 years. I've been talking about this because you don't understand the cost of living costs how much more, 50% more than just 3 years ago? For starters, think about all this. Don't let it go past you, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get your freedom papers. You have to understand you're going to have to come up with solutions. And what are some of those solutions going to look like? Means extra streams of income passively any other way. If you have to work 2 jobs, that could be extra streams, right? That's what you're going to have to look for, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to be very bad out here. And like I was saying before, the wipeout has already started. So look at this right here. You guys who are members of the channel, subscribers of the channel, have heard me say over and over again, 70%, actually 73% of the United States population does not have $1,000 in the bank account. Now you may understand why it's record highs for credit card debt, because people have to rely on their credit cards. That's why there's going to be all-time record high, and it's only going to get higher. All right? That's the first thing. So numbers correlate. So that means they're not lying to us. 60% of the population in the United States does not have $500 in their bank account. The numbers are going to correlate, because if 70% don't have 1,000, surely 60% doesn't have 500. That means there are 350 million United States citizens, roughly. There's a little more than that, but we'll go with 350. All right? So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking about nearly 200 million people don't even have $500 in their bank account. All right? Over 200 million people don't have 1,000. That leaves a small percentage. And guess how many people work? Anywhere from, actually, the numbers we don't know. It used to be roughly around 175 to 185 million Americans, but since the pandemic, it's kind of skewed since people work from home. So we don't know if there's 100 million people working, 125 million, but it's no longer 185, 175 million Americans working. And even if you were, you fall into that other category, 60, 70%. But look at this correlation. This is new. 70% of Americans are feeling financially stressed. Well, we already knew that based on the numbers, right? Everybody knows rent, groceries, gas could all equal $400 or $500 a month easily. And if 60% of the population doesn't have that, that's a problem. And where's all the jobs? That's right. Now we're going to move down here on the survey so you can now get into what I'm talking about. Financial, fewer than half of the U.S. adults said they have an emergency fund. Of course not. If we know 70% doesn't have 1,000, how can you have an emergency fund? More women than men admit feeling financially stressed. Okay, that's fine. But that's not the thing. I need to know if you guys are going to be able to hear this. I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear this, because listen to this very carefully. Yes, I'm going to get a copyright strike. But
all right, let's move on though. Are you feeling
so
more
hopefully you
financially
can hear
stressed
this. Let me
than
know
ever?
if you can hear this.
Not
on
just
the
about
screen,
AI,
because it
well,
comes
you're not
through
alone.
my headphones.
According to out of a new CNBC.
Well, the majority of Americans anxious and confused.
No, guys,
7
can you
out of
hear
10
what
adults,
they're saying?
70% are stressed about their personal finances. 57% of those making two, according to the new CNBC Your Money Financial Confidence Survey conducted by Momentive, released this morning. More than 4,000 adults in the U.S. were surveyed during the last week of March, and most of them, 58%, admitted they're living paycheck to paycheck. Among those making six figures, close to one-third said that's how they're living. Contributing financial stress for the six-figure set are the same stressors for all respondents: inflation, economic instability, interest rates rising, and a lack of savings. Now, there are some key differences among respondents. More women are feeling stressed about the personal finances than men, with 72% of women saying they are financially stressed compared to 67% of men. And women are also more likely than men to expect to paycheck, no savings. When it comes to household funds. And you want to be sure to tune in to Women and Wealth this afternoon, a CNBC Your Money event. It's going to happen at 1 p.m. today, Eastern Time. We're going to explore the ways that women can increase their income, save for the future, and make the
All
most
right,
of
ladies
current
and
opportunities.
gentlemen, can you believe this here? Did you hear that? Did you guys hear this? I just want to make sure that you heard what they were saying, because there's something that a lot of people may not have missed. You might have missed something, and that something is significant. Significant part. I got to cut this off, don't we? Got to get this turned off. The significant part is this: 52% said their financial stress has increased since before COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, because everything went off the charts after you got that free pandemic money. You thought it was free, didn't you? How many of you guys remember when I said it's not free, ladies and gentlemen? You know what I was talking about back then. They were printing up money to give us that pandemic money. Remember the PPP money as well? Remember the unemployment money they were giving people? Do you remember all that? You know we're broke, so it had to come out of your pocket. And that also meant you're pumping up the economy. And they did. 20% year over year house increases. Remember home prices skyrocketing? But then remember all-time record high for oil companies? All of that comes into play. Remember food cost increasing? They pumped up the money supply, which also meant reducing how much the money actually is worth. So you have to spend more. And you guys were all happy about all and giddy. I was never giddy about government printing out money, but it was a necessary evil at the time. And we're going to pay for it down the line. So let me get back into something, because after we say hello to James Way, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday, and he too has the icon next to his name. He tells it like it is. The rent is too damn high, and tents are getting more expensive. Exactly. Just like towny homes are getting more expensive. RVs are getting more expensive. Evening all. Got the notification. That's 3 people. Thank you so much for letting me know, James Way. And he's got it exactly right. If you need housing, you can't buy a home, you can't pay for rent, what next has to skyrocket? Well, the cheaper products. A tent's going to get too damn high. A tiny home's going to get too damn high. A car that can hold like a cargo van, or any vans that can hold people, that's going to start getting too damn high. There's a cycle. You better get your freedom papers in order, ladies and gentlemen. That means passive income. That means extra streams of revenue, making your money work for you. You need to press on the gas now before it's too late. Now, I'm going to get back into this page, because there's something that I need to show you guys. And you saw what the lady was saying, right? You saw in the report. Did you remember the part about 6-figure earners? What I told you, the middle class is being wiped out. They said 32% of 6-figure earners are living paycheck to paycheck. Who thought that making $120,000, $130,000, $140,000 a year and you would be living paycheck to paycheck? If somebody told you this 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 8 years ago, and definitely 10 years ago or 20 years ago, they would have said, there's a problem with you. That's what they would have thought. You're out here spending way too much money. No, ladies and gentlemen, the cost of living is getting out of control. You don't see it because you're surviving, but it's happening right before your very eyes. I told you they're wiping out the middle class. And who's next? Upper middle class is getting wiped out. 32%, by the way. Sooner or later, it's going to be 50%. It's scary if you can make $125,000 to $150,000 and talk about living paycheck to paycheck, stressed about financials. That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here we go. Victor Morrell says, how could I forget? Uncle Sam came for it at tax completion. I know that's a nationwide poll, but if you take it by regions, i.e. Southeast Florida, the percentage can be higher than that. Exactly. That's the average on the poll. Exactly. Depending on where you are, some of you would be like, oh my God. And across the board, that's the numbers, but it could be lower. Like, let's say in Iowa or something, right? I mean, let's call it what it is. Ohio or something. And you know, states like that, cost of living traditionally is a lot lower than a lot of places. So more people on this poll might be from Florida, California, Arizona, Nevada, places like this, Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Massachusetts, places like this. Things have gone off the charts, off the rails financially. So again, but that's an average poll, and give or take plus or minus 3 percentage points. But he's exactly right. And things are out of control. But this is just a warning. And you guys, you guys already know this, though. You guys have been here. We've been talking about this over the last 4 years, that how things were going to cost more, how they're printing up money, how all the signs, regardless of what they're saying on TV, even now, after the Federal Reserve could possibly figure out a soft landing, they have figured it out. But what is the cost of the soft landing? Well, the cost of the soft landing is adding another few $1 trillion to the deficit, devaluing your currency, putting a lot of billions of dollars in the hands of people that are going to turn around and then buy up apartment complexes. So then they're going to raise the rent too damn high, like Jamesway says, like they did in 2021 and 2022, and take it over into another 30-40% increase. And yes, the rents are coming down, but what's going to happen when people start losing their homes and they need a place to stay? That's millions of people. So the rents will be going back up, and they can charge whatever they want, which is evident by what they did in 2021, 2022, and now 2023, when somebody lives in a one bedroom for $2,000 a month and you have to make at least $6,000 without debt to live in that place, which means $72,000 a year. And when we start talking about these new signs, luxury apartments, a freaking one bedroom might cost you $2,500 to $3,000 a month, which now means you got to make 6 figures. Start realizing, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already started to figure this out, you're getting ran over by a truck. And it's just going so slow, running over you, and you're stuck. If you have not already figured out, get your wheels in motion yourself and get down with the passive income or money making coming in somehow without you having to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week for it. Because guess what? We got news for you now. You won't be able to work 60 hours another year from now and sit there and go, oh yeah, I make $90,000 a year. Why? You're not going to be saved. Not going to be saved. Simple as that. You're going to be paying more money. And never mind, think about what's going to happen when they reduce the interest rates. You know what happens when they reduce interest rates, ladies and gentlemen? That means they can, a balloon's going to be blowing up. Cheap money to buy assets that you're going to be living in or you're going to want. And they're just going to balloon them up. They're going to say, okay, it's cheap for us to go buy up the neighborhoods or go buy up the car dealerships or go buy up whatever we want. So therefore, how do we get repaid? We're going to tell our shareholders we're going to earn 20% this year. How are we going to do that? We're raising the prices 20%. And we don't care because they have to buy from us or keep things like it's a third world country. Keep it for an extra 10 years. Everybody's going to have to figure out a skill. Who's going to be the car mechanic? Right? Who's going to be the car repair person now? You don't know now. You're going to know later. All right. You don't know how to fix up cars. You might want to start getting some sort of lessons. All right. You don't know how to do any AC. You might want to start brushing up on AC knowledge. Those are going to go out every 10 to 15 years. Your AC, your heater units, that's their lifespans generally. All those like me who say, hey, you know what? I want to get mine checked out every year. I'm going to pay the $75, the $50, the $100, check them out every year, make sure we're good and efficient. Well, then we might get ours to the last like 18, 19, 20 years. But a lot of people do not do their annual inspections and checkups for their heating and cooling systems. And there you have it, 10 to 15 year lifespans. And you know how much them things cost now, ladies and gentlemen? It's not $2,000. It's not $5,000. You might want to start thinking $7 to $10,000, and you already know 70% of you don't have $1,000. So when your AC or heater units go out, what are you going to do? Go down and swipe out $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 on credit cards? Putting yourself in a trick bag, ladies and gentlemen. You're doing it. So here's the trick bag. The way to make sure you're not in a trick bag, make sure your money's working for you. You're going to have to take risk at this point. What are those risks going to be? It's up to you. But I damn sure know a few things. If you have stocks and you know 89% of the stock market is owned by the top 10%, I mean, if that's where their money is, that's where you need to put your money. You need to be right along with them. You know why? Because they don't lose. They're sitting here manipulating the stock market so they can win, so they can get this soft landing right now. So you need to have your money in there too. And no, you don't need to pick stocks. You don't have to pick individual stocks. You can pick ETF funds. Go with the big boys. So you can Bamba. All right? JEPI, JEPI, for instance. Go with JP Morgan. They're freaking 500. A Fed bank is like I always say, right? Just go with them. Total Market Fund, JEPI. Okay, you get 11.5 to 12% annually. $6.25 per share annually return. Their stock price is around $54. That gives you about 11.5 to 12%. All right? At least you know you're getting 12%. So if inflation is 12 or 10%, at least you're breaking even with what you can buy. You're not going backwards. And they're too big to fail also. All right? So you win both ways. But actually, in my opinion, at one time, I really didn't like Jamie Dimon. I mean, just call it what it is, because he was all being smug about crypto and acting like somebody else can't do something. But he finally came around, right? So, but for all intents and purposes, the man's doing a great job with this company, and they're always liquid. And they have reasons to always be liquid because they can get interest-only loans at damn near 0%. But that's a whole nother story. All right. Now, are you guys ready to get that freedom paper out here? Jawway J is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, Eric, also talk about the 40-year mortgage. Oh my God, Jawway J. This is exactly insane. Okay, the 40-year mortgage is being talked about. This is very true. And in actuality, how do you push up the value of homes? You just say, just what they did with cars. Remember, it used to be 60 months was ordinary. If you wanted one of those high performance, high end cars, the Lambos, right? Then you were going to have a 10-year note, you know, the secret, 10, 12-year notes, interest only kind of stuff. I mean, they didn't talk. That's why nobody ever talks about their lending and loan practices with those high-end vehicles, because they don't want to let you know it's like a 10-year note, 12-year notes that they've been giving out for these freaking $200,000 cars. Now they're going to do it to your home. 40-year mortgages. And think about the time you're 25 years old till the time you're 65 years old. And think about the cost of living increase that's going to occur. But that's not the problem here. The real problem is you're being set up. Because a 40-year loan means you pay lower amounts monthly, so you're not going to care about paying an extra $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. And what they don't tell you is, and what you never even think about when you buy a home, let's just say you bought $1 million home, and let's say you get one of these stupid, even a 30-year mortgage, which is not stupid, but let's just say you get a 30-year mortgage. All right, I got an incoming call for a second here. I don't know what that is. Let's say you got a 30-year note. What a lot of you don't know is by the time you finish paying off in 30 years, if you didn't prepay, you paid an additional $1 million. So at the end of 30 years, you're proud of yourself. I tell this story a lot. You're at a party in the neighborhood and people are all happy. And of course they get around to, oh man, it's lovely. I bought my house for $1 million and it's worth like $2 million. And of course, I'm the guy that always goes pop with the bubble. Because I tell the story all the time. I turned to them and I said, okay, so are you moving? And they look at me kind of weird, like, what do you mean? No, I'm not moving. I said, but you just said that the house is worth $2 million. The house is only worth $2 million when you put it up for sale and somebody buys it. And that means you're moving. Because otherwise, it's worth nothing. But I got bad news also. You actually paid $2 million. You paid for it. I would hope it's worth $2 million. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the worst news. If you get a 40-year note, do you know you buy a house for $1 million? I haven't ran the numbers yet, but I'd be willing to bet you that's probably going to be like $2.5 million is what you paid for it. So the house after 40 years better be worth 2.5. And in order to make more money, it has to be worth, you got to get 3 million just to make 500. Do you think that's a good deal? Putting in 1 million to get back to basically pay 2.5 million and get back 2.5 million? You think that's a win? How about paying $1 million and getting back 500,000 after 40 years or 30 years? Do you think that's a good deal? Hell no. That's how they keep you broke, ladies and gentlemen. That keeps you off of getting your financial freedom papers because you're living paycheck to paycheck. We already went down the numbers. In case you're new here, 70% of the population is feeling stressed. We already knew that. But here's the kicker. 32% of six-figure earners are feeling stressed. Now, what are six-figure earners? Are we talking about 100,000? Are we talking about 150,000? We talking about 250,000? We talking about 300,000? What are these six-figure earners? But the fact you have 32% of six-figure earners, that ought to concern you. That ought to concern you big time. If 70% of the regular population doesn't have 1,000, 32% of six-figure earners are sweating, then tell me something. What if you're only earning in the five-figure numbers? Does that mean 50% of five-figure earners or 30% of five-figure earners are stressing? Now you guys start understanding it's a larger percent of the population that is stressing financially. And hardly anybody has a skill set to start your own business. They don't teach you that in school. They don't teach you accounting in school. They don't teach you any setting up trust and LLC. Sure, when you get into a higher education or learning, and now sometimes in high school, they did start if your teacher's cool, but generally, no, you're working for somebody else. They took away the trade, so you're not going to learn auto mechanic schools not at school anymore where it's free. They want you to go pay for it now where they can charge you $20, $30, $50, $100,000 so you can get a student loan for life. So think about all this, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting bad out here. It's getting worse right underneath your nose. All right, let's see what else we got to talk about here tonight. But that 40-year mortgage, Jaway Jay, it's happening. It's coming down. They have no choice. You can't sell $800,000 homes to the majority of people. And in fact, before I get into this, the rent is already there. Here we go. One of my team members is paying $2,650 for a simple and small 3-bedroom home in Tampa, and that's without a garage. Oh my God. Don't know how people are making it. This is powerful. Exactly, Victor Morrell. See, the numbers don't lie, ladies and gentlemen. And in fact, Florida's a whole nother ball game that's going on here now. They have people moving out of northeastern states like New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, California, Arizona, even Washington, Seattle, Washington area. They're moving to Texas and Florida. Now, what you guys don't understand is Florida and Texas. Yes, they used to be the place to be because why? no state taxes, right? Even Nevada used to be the spot as well. But as it turns out, in Florida and in Texas, due to hurricanes, due to situations with Mother Nature, tornadoes, hurricanes, flooding, and all this, not only would you have to pay for $26.50 a month, but how would you like to wake up and be like, mandatory flood insurance? Mandatory. So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think the insurance company is just going to be like, oh yeah, we're just going to charge you $300 a year? No, they're going to raise it to whatever they want since it's mandatory. What about insurance companies? Oh, well, you know, like in the case of Florida, 10, 11, 14, 15 insurance companies said sayonara, because every year we're going to have to do a payout due to whatever happens in Florida, the weather-wise. We don't want to pay out. And in fact, any payout is more than the premium is generally worth and more than what you put in. Everybody more than what everybody put in, because it's billions of dollars. So therein lies the problem. They said, sayonara, we don't want any business here. So the guys that are still there, you don't think they're going to charge you extra? There's people paying $20,000 a year for insuring their home. This is crazy. So homes might have been cheaper, but now you're getting inundated with extra real estate taxes to boot. So now you're paying an extra $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month on top of your mortgage. And then never mind, all those people in the gated communities have HOA, and HOA goes, we got you by the balls, $1,000 a month, please. And the next thing you know, people are like scrambling, going, oh my God, what the hell's going on here? This is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and you're the one getting caught up and not realizing you're getting caught up. So you need to figure out how you're going to get some help. And again, Victor Morrell points out something. This is what's going on. Not everywhere, but in states where people are moving to, it's crazy. In fact, I got to give you a story. I talked to my brother today, and in Georgia, right? And I'm talking about a bill on their electric bill, gas bill, they add some fees that have nothing to do with the gas bill. It's something I've never heard of before. Just like an extra $60, $70 just because, and charging $10 a month for customer service fees on top of the bill. So it's like your bill is automatically has $70 to $80 on it for nothing. It's like a service fee of some sort, not based on your usage, but just a service fee. I'm just like, how is this even a thing? This is crazy what's happening. All right. Increase your portfolio allocation to income generated ETF dividend funds and decrease the allocation for ETF appreciation funds. Exactly. You will need that constant monthly income in the near future. Victor Morrell done said it exactly right. This is one of the solutions, ladies and gentlemen. I already gave you the JEPI, but that is dividend. We need dividend funds exactly right. VOO. Get your pen, pad, and papers out. We give solutions here. Stock market. Remember, 89% of the richest, top 10% of the wealthiest own 89% of the stock market. That's why the stock market ends up being major, and that's why they manipulate it so these guys win. So that's why you need to put your money in there. All right? That's the first thing. Don't go against the grain. You want to be a top 10%er, you got to hang where the big boys hang. So that means JEPI, something I mentioned, you're going to get 11.5 to 12%. If it drops down to 52, I think $52, then you'll be at 12%. I think it's 54 right now is JEPI. Now, VOO, VTI, VTSAX. That's right. You heard it. VOO, VTI, VTSAX. These are all Vanguards. They're inexpensive, but they're not all dividends. So don't worry about that. But you need an ETF to preserve your funds. They're still going to earn their 9, 10, 11, 12% at appreciation. But like Victor Morrell said, I gave you something to look at, but we need dividends, ladies and gentlemen. So now I go to my other faves, IEP, that we talk about all the time. I is in India, E is in Eric, P is in Paul. That's the Icon Fund. Automotive, it's a conglomerate. I like the way that fund is done, and that's at 14 to 15% at its price point right now, annual return. So imagine putting money in right now, JEPI, IEP, and then you're earning 15%, 11.5% without sweating. You don't even have to, you just let it, set it and forget it. Because that money that you put in, it's going to keep earning that same amount. And if you did a reinvestment plan, that means you're going to end up with more money, because now it's just going to reinvest back into the actual stock. Now you're going to get more stock, which means more money. Warren Buffett style. That's what he's been doing for 50, 60 years, living off the interest or dividends. And then he's out here getting billions of dollars in dividend, hundreds of millions. And then he buys companies with that. Then he goes buy stocks with that and gets, can you imagine getting 10, 12% on $100 million? And you didn't even have to work for it. It's something you did when you were 25 years old, and now you're 60 years old. And like him, now you're 90 years old and you're still making money off of something you did 70 years ago, 65, 70 years ago. Think about it. All right. It's never too late, ladies and gentlemen. You never know how long you're going to live, actually. You got lifetimes. The first lifetime from 0 to 18, 19, 20, another lifetime 20 to 40 because you know much more. Then another lifetime from that 40 to 60 when you know more, making a little more, and now you're doing some things. Then when you're 60 to 80, another lifetime. You got lifetimes. And in this era, you're able to take care of yourself. You can go to the gym. Hell, most places have a gym where you live these days, a clubhouse with a gym. So you should be working, riding bikes, doing whatever you can. So you're going to generally live longer. All right. You can eat better, but how much is it going to cost you? Well, that's the difference. You need to be making more money. All right. So Victor Morrell puts in a good one for us. Here we go. King Choice is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, greetings, SSN family. Glad to see you on another live stream, Brother Eric. Very nice to see you once again, King's Choice. I appreciate the support. Appreciate you being here in the house once again. So we're talking a lot tonight because the financial freedom papers are going to be necessary. You have to start putting in the work now if it's not too late. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's not too late, but it's getting bad out here. All right. You got to know the numbers. Blade Ascona, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here as well. And he says, they don't teach to invest in school because they want you to be slave work until you get old. Exactly. People don't do what the other people do. Don't follow the system. Exactly, ladies and gentlemen. Blade Ascona, that's what we're talking about here. That's why this channel is called Stop Struggling Now, because I've seen all my friends do the damn thing. Not all of them, a lot of them. They were out here slaving away. I can't blame them. They're slaving away 30, 40 years. Yeah, and some of them put that nice little nest egg, nest egg aside. 1 million, 1.2 million, $1.3 million nest egg. And then the stock market drops 20, 30%. Now that nest egg is under 1 mil. And then you're saying, well, what's going on? Well, see, they had just basically stocks. They didn't put it into the dividend side. They didn't switch it up and say, you know what, I might as well just have this money coming in every month. Right? $1 million earning 10%, $100,000 from a dividend fund. It could have been the JEPI. Well, no, it couldn't have been. But all I'm saying, yeah, it could have been actually, because they just retired 3 years ago. So they could have JEPI earning like 11, 12% annually, $100,000 to $120,000 annually could be coming in, regardless if that portfolio went down. So again, it does matter what you do with your money, and you're going to have to start thinking like a rich person, top 10%er, because like he says it best here, because they want you to be a slave, ladies and gentlemen. Work until you get old, and that's what we're talking about. with the 40-year mortgage that Jawway was talking about. You're going to be in that slave system if you sign up for first of all, a 30-year mortgage is slave system. So some people may be going, Eric, why do you keep saying this? Let me show you guys something. A lot of you already know. We do actual, wait, I lost a screen here, but we do some other things. We look at numbers, right? Google mortgage calculator. All right. So everybody can see this. So you guys got to understand what you're doing out here. Let's just put I'm going to do this. I'll put in 6.5. All right. Let's put in, hold on a second. I forgot I have some things. 6.5. I'm going to put in what's going to happen this next little bubble. We'll be back to this type of scenario. See this right here, ladies and gentlemen? See this right here? 500,000, 6.51%, $3,000 means you have to make $10,000 to get this loan. You have to make $120,000, and then you have a $3,000 loan. But this doesn't include, I don't think this is going to include your insurance. But all I want you to pay attention to, if you can see it, is this number here. If you wait 30 years to pay this off, that's $1,138,906 if you have a 6.51. 1 million. You've already paid $1 million. So somebody comes up to you 30 years later and go, my house is worth 1.3. And you're looking at them like, you paid that though. And in fact, you forget there's interest. This money could have been earning more money, but all you have is a house. Imagine if you were putting in $3,000 a month on something that's earning you 12% a year. That means an extra $3,000 a year every year for 30 years. And then on top of that, you're earning some more comes in, because now instead of 3,000, it's 6,000 and 9,000 and 20,000. Next thing you know, you're like, wait, I could have actually still have the 1 million that I paid, but now I'm making freaking $300,000 a year annually, but I don't have a house. And that's why Warren Buffett lives in the same house. Get with the program, ladies and gentlemen. All right. You need assets that pay you. So again, I just wanted to point this out, but here's the worst thing. Look at what happens when you go up to 40. Your payment drops look at this. And people are going to be suckers for this when they officially do it. Look at this. Look, $31.64. A whole nother 10 years, and it's only about $200 a month less. But people are going to sign up for it. And if they do that loan and they live long enough, that's $1.4 million. So that you guys are foreseeing the future. The house is already going to be up there. It's going to be worth 1.4, probably before the 40 years. But I'm just saying, you're going to be on the hook for 1.4. And it's even worse than that, because what you don't understand is you're going to probably go through 2 AC units, 2 heater situations, not to mention your refrigerators, which cost 2 or 3 G's these days, and probably going to be more. They're going to be poo-pooed by, there's no 40-year refrigerators. There's no 40-year dishwashers. There's no 40-year TVs. There's no 40-year nothing. Fireplaces, you are going to have upkeep on a 40-year-old home. Just like right now, if you bought a house, a 1980 house, 1985 house, you don't think you're going to have to figure out the rehab situation? What about all that cost? What about a roof? There's no 40-year roofs. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Can a house even stand up the way they build them now for 40 years? Think about this. It's going down, all right? Even 30 years now, because the way they're making these flimsy-ass houses. It's scary out here, ladies and gentlemen. So look, this is why we have a program. And again, I hate to talk about this, but I have to, because this is significant. There's a lot of people out here right now who's actually paying this $2,650 a month to live in luxury apartments or regular apartments or homes, you can actually buy yourself condos and villas in places all over the world where you can put down 10%. And these places are like, hell, I hate to say it, but Thailand's a long way from the United States. But somebody might be watching this internationally. I doubt it, because they don't let us go out internationally here on the YouTube channel. We're shadow banned. All right, I had to put that out there again. Yeah, no international viewers, according to YouTube. Nobody from international other than the Caribbean may see us. But other than that, nobody in Europe, nobody in Asia, nobody in South America. But in case somebody did find us from Thailand or in Asia territories, Thailand has freaking 2-3 bedroom condos right now for less than $100,000. Pre-construction, just like in Punta Cana. Well, not like in Punta Cana. You generally don't want something $50,000 in Punta Cana, because that's going to be a regular old condo complex. But in Thailand, $50,000, $35,000 for these little 1-2 bedroom condos. Yeah, they're kind of small, but they're $25,000, $30,000, $50,000, 2 bedroom with a kitchen, with a balcony. I'm just saying. So there's things all over the world that you can take advantage of. If worse comes to worse, at least you have a spot. And all you had to do was put down $2,000, $5,000, $10,000, and then make monthly payments of like $1,000, $500, $1,500. And then in 2 or 3 years, you handle biz because you're going to finance it. And now you actually have something that you don't have, that didn't cost you an arm and a leg, and you're always going to have a roof over your head. And then you have an option of then being able to rent it out. And then if you rent it out, now you can worry about go getting that house. That's going to cost you an arm and a leg, but at least you have some way to subsidize where you live. That's the name of the game, but they don't want you to do that. They want you to do the reverse. Just what Blade Azcona says. Arizona, Kona is Kona. That's what he's saying. The slave work. They don't want you to get financial freedom. Exactly, they don't. Because if you're going to get financial freedom, you'll be like the big boys. All right, here we go. Major insurance companies, USAA, Progressive, aren't writing property insurance policies for Florida right now. See, this is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You have to do a drug deal with the smaller company and get ripped in the process. Exactly. This is what I'm talking about. You guys have no idea what's going on. Everybody's going, I'm moving to Florida. I'm moving to Texas. I'm like, no. What you don't understand is when hurricanes, tornadoes, and all that, the top 2 countries or 2 states to get hit is Texas, and Florida is number 1. So the insurance companies are going berserk every year. There's something happening in some portion of Florida, and they're like, holy smokes, this is costing us billions. We don't have it. They don't have it. So that's why they're saying, okay, we're not even going to write insurance. Like he's saying, there's 14, 15 companies that left Florida. And then they've got companies like USAA, who's actually in Florida, a big ass office space there, but they're going, nah, we ain't going to do any property insurance no more. We're good. So now you leave it to the unknowns who sit there and give you, like he says, drug dealer deals. You're going to have to pay. You're getting mob deals at this point. Yeah. What do you need? Protection. Right. Protection. Every week we'll be collecting, and then they come and collect, except you're going, here's that $200 I gave you. They go in the till and say, well, thank you for that, but we'll take this too. And you're like, wait, I thought it was $200 a week. You needed a little bit more protection. Who else you going to get it from? Right? In fact, that's how insurance started, by the way. Just so everybody knows. All right. Rydell Cabezas is in the house. Yeah. Another emerging millionaire is in the house. He made the right decision like 2-3 years back by getting a property in Punta Cana pre-construction that's worth double the value now. He says, oh, and by the way, Rydell Cabezas, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he has the icon next to his name. And he springs his tagline, good evening, SSN Nation. You can make money or you can make excuses, but you can't make both. I choose money. There we go, Raydel Cabezas. We all have to do it and have that mindset. I like that. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And by the way, he has a unit that I love what he said. SSN Nation approved. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. A penthouse unit. I believe that's what he got. And at the beach. And the beach is now coming correct. They're adding amenities because why? Let's just call it what it is. I gave them the big X when they were acting foolish, and now finally they started saying, "Oh, hold up. We will have restaurants. We will have that. We will have a spa. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a little eating. We're gonna have a little stuff out by the beach. We're gonna have a little bar, little cafe thing. We're gonna be good. We're gonna have barbecue grills. We might even have a pharmacy too. Mini Mart also. Oh yeah, hold on now. We're not dead. We just delayed for a second. Just delayed because the hotel's not coming. So we had to change things up a little bit. But oh no, we're still good. So anyhow, we're all good, ladies and gentlemen. Raydel Cabezas is here. And again, can't make excuses. You got to make money. Can't make excuses. Can't make both. Choose the money. I like it. All right. Victor Morel says, no, that doesn't include insurance. That example is actually about $4,000 per month when you include insurance and taxes. Plus, pray your HOA is low on top of that. Victor Morel, exactly. Going back to that number, he's exactly right. I forgot to even add in the your insurance. And that's my point that I was getting to. If you're in other states, you could be paying $2,000 more because you have mandated insurances. Like in Florida, you have to have flood insurance. But who's going to cover you? That's exactly the problem. And you got to insure your home. Who's going to cover you? That's the problem. HOAs, they're like, hold up a second. If something happens here, our insurance premiums have gone up. So now we have to charge our homeowners more money. And those insurance premiums, they have to pay, oh my, the same ripoff artists that the citizens have to pay. Commercial wise is the same ripoff artist, except add on double the money. So now your HOA goes, what do you mean I have to pay $100,000 insurance every year? Okay, we only have 55 to 100 units here. They're like, wait, everybody has to pay an extra. Oh, sheesh, that's like $2,000. Oh no, this is a problem. This is a problem. An extra 200, an extra 500, an extra 1,000. Now our HOA fees are 1,000 a month. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, this is going down. Third world country like. All right, he's exactly right. So think about all this. That's why now I'm like, oh my God, this is like being a nightmare. Miracle Bro is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. The young gun is here. He brings us into it. SSN Nation unite. And yes, we are united, ladies and gentlemen, because you got to get on the same page. And by the way, did I mention when I was going into talking about Thailand, did I not mention something? No credit check, no qualifying means no barrier to entry when you get these pre-construction properties. Punta Cana, fine. Costa Rica, fine. Mexico, I don't like because they're not generally deeded, because I want to be by the beach. I don't want to be inland, but okay. We go all over the planet. We have pre-construction options with no credit check, no qualifying. And in fact, in the United States, you have it as well. You want to know something very interesting? Miami, Southeast Florida, real estate is still rising. It has not dropped. Why? Because the rest of the world wants to be near Miami. Not like LA like it used to be, but Miami. That's sinking underwater. This is insane, really, when you think about it. So take your pick. Miami that's going underwater a little bit, inch by inch, or the West Coast that potentially has ground shaking. I mean, take your pick, right? Either way, the weather's nice and all that, but geez, property values are skyrocketing beyond control. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So again, what did we talk about here? We talked about the stock market, dividend funds, right? I only gave JEPI. IEP. So the question is, what is a REIT going to do? Real estate investment trust. What are they going to do? So REITs like AGNC. I've talked about this every time. Nothing's going to change. All right. AGNC. A is in Apple, G is in George, N is in Nancy, C is in Charles. Go look out. It's 13, 14% return on your money, on the money you put in now. Later, if their stock price goes down and they still give out dividends, then that means your return on investment goes up. That's a good thing, right? So we go with Orchard Capital, right? ORC. They're going to be somewhere around 16.5 to 17%. That's pretty decent, right? That beats Fundrise, which is only going to give you 5%. That beats Mr. X, who's only going to give you 5%, 6% when he feels like it. But you could be doing 12, 14, 15% if you do it yourself, and it's not locked up. It's liquid because you are on Robinhood, Webull, Charles Schwab, E-Trade, whatever brokerage accounts you have. But if you want your free shares of stock, they're down below. Use the link, please. Robinhood and Webull links are down below. If you've never heard of them and haven't downloaded them to get your free shares of stock, download them now. And then if you deposit money into Webull, it could be $1. Then they'll give you more stocks. Right? What can I say? Free stocks, that is. So that's something to think about. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you got to get your freedom papers. It's mandatory. You're going to have to take risk, because the reason why I say take risk now is you're almost going to have no choice. You're really not going to have a choice. This has already happened in Europe, but because America generally doesn't report on European financial situations, you don't know about it. It's already happened. So there were people that retired. This already passed 10, 15, 20 years back. Same scenarios. People were retiring. The cost of living was high. So what did they do? They started reducing the interest rates. They reduced the interest rates, but then the banks started charging people to keep their money in the bank. Not just these, you're paying $10 a month or $3 a month. No. Every month they're charging you like 1% of what you have in the bank. Meanwhile, there's inflation. So not only are you losing 1% of your money by leaving in the bank. So what does that mean? That meant you had to take your money out. And then what did that mean? Because there's inflation, that means I have to invest my money into something. It's where I get a return. So now people that were in retirement age or up there, they had to start going, oh my God, I got to take out my money and go put it somewhere because we have inflation. I can't leave it in the bank. And so that exasperated the situation where they had negative interest rates for a long time, and people had to risk their retirement savings. And it was a risk because a lot of people lost. So when banks went out of business, when companies went out of business, when things went out of business, they lost their investment money. They either had to invest in businesses, invest in the stock markets, invest in something to get a higher rate of return. You can't leave your money in a bank. You can't leave it under a mattress. We've already seen this playbook. It does not end well. And who wins? The top 10 percenters. They still get free loans from their buddies who are running banks and all that and saying, here's your interest-only loan. Yes, we'll give you an interest-only loan for 15 years. And you can go down in downtown and go buy a house. And then all their friends are buying homes, these big-time top 10 percenters. And they're outbidding mom and pop for regular residential neighborhoods. And the next thing you know, residential neighborhoods are over $1 million. That's what happened already in the UK. That's what happened in Europe. So when somebody goes over to Switzerland and they talk to somebody and they go, yeah, man, you know, we get paid $30 an hour. And you're like, what did you just say? He's like, $30 an hour. Right. That's our minimum wage. We get $30 an hour. Except I can't make ends meet because everything's adjusted. It costs more to live there. So $30 an hour is not going to cut it. They're still living paycheck to paycheck, still having to do Uber and a job. You're here, ladies and gentlemen. You're already here. It's scary. And you have to make some moves. You just can't sit back and say, hey, you're going to have to take risk. I'm sorry to say. What's those risks? Stock market risk, real estate risk. Those are low risk. But some people will say, okay, let me get into crypto. Those are risks, but it's high risk. What other risk can you take? Start your own business. That's even a higher risk. Invest in a business like a Shark Tank member, a Dragon Den member. That's a good idea. An existing business that you already know revenues are coming in. That's not a bad idea, I don't think. Let me know what you guys think. That's a business that's already operational. You're not taking a risk. All right. You guys know was it Friday or Wednesday when I was talking about the motel hotel deals? There's guys out here buying up hotels and motels. I can't believe it. It's one of the hottest things that's happening right now. You want to know something? Some people aren't buying up motels and hotels to actually be a hotel or motel. This is what's crazy. They are turning it into monthly rentals. Why? Because what Victor Morel said. Every unit is worth $2,000 a month to them. They're making like hotel rooms an actual month to month and charging people $2,000 for a freaking hotel room. It's going down. It's already happening. That's why these guys are out here swooping up hotels and motels. They don't care. They're just like, okay, you have 50 units. I can get $2,000 per month per unit. You're going to let me buy this for $2 million or $1 million? I'll take it. I know a place right now. Again, I know a lot of stuff that's undercover right now. Thanks to my cousin, that is. A guy said he will sell a hotel. It's a motel. $600,000 is all he wants. I couldn't believe this. He says he will. So normally what's going to happen is you got to put down 25%, right? He says he will reverse finance this. He will do owner financing. He will carry a $200,000 note. And on top of that, carry the rest. So in other words, you're borrowing $200,000 from him, got to pay him back, and you're going to ultimately pay him $600,000. I'm just like, so somebody can actually get a motel, not a hotel, it's a motel, right now, owner financing. Is this crazy? Now, of course, the place may not be that nice, but all I'm trying to say is somebody's going to take that deal and then spruce the place up, do whatever they want to do, and then turn it into maybe month to month. This is crazy what's happening out here because the big boys are also in the same boat you're in. How much longer can you squeeze a turnip? How much longer can you raise rental rates 30% annually? You can't. How much longer can you keep raising the cost of homes and somebody's going to buy? You can't. So then what do? You just say, okay, we know nobody can buy there, so we're going to buy these other things and then turn that into where you're going to live in a 500 square foot box and it's going to cost you $2,500 a month. Somewhat like New York, someone like San Francisco. That's what's going to be going on around all of USA. You're not going to be immune, ladies and gentlemen. That's why you need to get your freedom papers in order. How do you get those financial freedom papers in order? You buy assets. We've been talking about this all year long. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline, good evening, SSN family. And the other part to the tagline is ABMM. Always be making money, ladies and gentlemen. That's the tagline. And in case you don't know who Curtis Davis is in these parts and these streets, he's known as Mr. Financial. And Mr. Financial is also known on the YouTube pages as Chili Davis. That's right. He has his own channel. Go show some love. Subscribe. Click the all notification bell at Chili Davis with 2 L's, Chilly Davis. Why? Because, damn, he only needs like 150 or so, maybe 200 more people to reach 1,000. We got to get him monetized, ladies and gentlemen. Go show some love. Chilly Davis, get him monetized. He's out here helping people, slaying dragons as well, trying to help people with financial information, updates, news, so you can actually make moves. Now, you know, it's already been an hour, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that means. Something to think about. You need passive income out here, right? So if you're going to need passive income, let me give you some things that you want to do with that passive income. Have a little fun, right? So I'm going to play a little what we call SSN lifestyle. I'll play some of that. Okay, I'll do this one. Playboy Mansion time, a little poker, right? Okay.
People call me the champ. That's not true. I'm a champ a long time ago. This is the champion, David Chu. Say hello. David Chu. Hello, everyone. Tell us what's the tournament that you just won a ridiculous amount of money in?
Well, what's the WPT?
Yeah, WPT where? How much did you win? 3.4. 3.4 million David Chu just came home with. You're amazing. Amazing. Yes, let's give a hand for David Chu. We have David Chu here. Just won $3.4 million.
Can you break it for me, David?
How we doing? How's the table? Oh my God, Brett Butler's here. Brett Butler and I have a lot of history. He's the man who got absolutely no cards in the final table when we were together. It was unbelievable. I got so unbelievably lucky, and he got nothing sick. It was really sick. This man should have won a hell of a lot more money. But how much did you win at the World Series, David?
3.2.
For real? He won $3.2 million, and he got absolutely no cards, got completely screwed, and I felt really bad, but it's not that bad. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. You're playing against Glenn Turman, who's one of my old clients. Glenn is one of the great actors of our time. Glenn's been nominated for an Emmy this year for his HBO movie. You gotta come and talk to Glenn. You didn't recognize Glenn Turman as your next up? Crazy. I'm so sorry.
Oh, hiding out on me, man. Oh, my goodness.
Of course. Glenn, I miss you so much. We have Glenn Turman in the house, everybody. Tell us about the movie that you're doing. You just did great feel. You're nominated for an Emmy this year.
Well, HBO put me up for a nomination.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you want to do with your life. Have a little fun. Get out and expand your horizons. Do the thing that you love. How do you do that? You have to set yourself up with passive income, that financial freedom papers. Sure, sometimes you have to work. We all work. Oh, by the way, you got to get those 40 hours, although Social Security may not be around, but you have to get those 40 hours in. So you got to work with somebody else. So then you'll appreciate the fact when you don't have to work. But you might as well find out how other companies run, get a little bit of experience early on and say, damn, I don't love none of this. I don't like showing up at 7 in the morning or getting ready at 6:30, 7 in the morning and go to work and then not being appreciated. Not saying everybody's not appreciated, but all I'm saying is that's what it kind of feels like. And you're taking orders and it's not fair. Life is not fair. And you may or may not get promoted. You may or may not get a wage increase. And now you have to move and make changes based on just what happened in the last 2 years. The price of living went up, but your boss is still going, okay, $25 an hour is good enough for you. And you're like, hey, man, do we get like an extra $5 because, you know, things went up 20% over the last 2 years? That would be 20% raise. Can I get $30 an hour now just so I can break even? Sorry, we can't afford it. In fact, we have bad news for you. The healthcare premiums have went up. So therefore, your contribution for healthcare is going to have to increase. Oh, that's not good. So this is what's happening. This is why you have to get your freedom papers. It's imperative. All right, let's go. Miracle Bro, my boy Eric was looking fresh at that poker table. Hey, man. Hey. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, here we are. Left that casino with 3.2 million, I bet. Miracle Bro. Yeah, that's David Chu. Yeah, he did. I know him. It's the World Poker Tour. He actually did. It wasn't playing cash games. It was a tournament, World Poker Tour. And in fact, the picture I'm taking with him at his birthday party, the World Poker Tour, was that weekend. All right. So a couple weeks later, 3 weeks later, I think, then we're at the Playboy Mansion. So yeah, he actually did win it, man. And he actually didn't win only that one. He's won some other ones as well. So he's one hell of a nice guy. And that's all I can say. You know, if I'm hanging with him, he's a nice guy. He's one of the nice guys. In fact, Brett, God, how can I not remember everybody's name? In fact, the other guy who won at the World Series of Poker that finished like 9th or 7th or 8th, like I always keep saying, he bought a business, Harry and Reed. It's a clothing store recently. I might have him on one of these days because I want to talk to him about why did he buy this clothing store now. But he won 3.1 or 3.3 as well at the World Series of Poker, though, the summer before, a few weeks before that. So it was crazy. So everybody there, and it just so happens we all were at the same table. But yeah, fun times. So yeah, that was a long time ago. Well, yeah, a long time ago, but worth it. All right. Hella fun. All right. Now, everybody should experience different things in life. But when you're able to just go out and do things, you run into people all over the planet, all over the world, and you never know. This is a very, very small world. All right. Just remember that. Very small world. Now, let's get into some more of this. Now, in case you missed the video that I just dropped yesterday, where I was showing the shadow stats, in case you're not worried, I haven't got you worried enough to make you move the needle where you're going to get that passive income. You also don't know anything about Miracle Cash and More. All right. This is an NFT. It's a store. Miracle Cash and More is a store. The NFT is Boogie Gopher Club. We have no movement on that yet. There is no commissions coming out yet. But the fact of the matter is Boogie Gopher Club is backed by Miracle Cash and More, who's creating crypto stores. And they have now, I believe it's 11 streams of income because they've added a couple. They bought a company. So now it meant an additional couple of streams of revenue. So there's actually going to be 11 streams of revenue. And because of the Vodafone deal, that actually increased streams of revenue because now they're going to have their automated ATM machines and Miracle Deal in thousands of stores in Germany, a few hundred stores in UK and Spain and Belgium. So now all of a sudden the evaluation of an NFT is going to rise once they get these things implemented. Point of sale systems, more of those, thousands of them that they didn't count on previously are going to be in locations. So again, all of this helps NFT holders. Miracle Cash and More down below in the description. It takes you to Cash Flow NFT, but that's okay. In fact, I got a video to play. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the latest. Check this out. Actually, it's not really that new, but it's 4 minutes. So you can check this out right now.
If there was a way you could have partnered with Elon Musk before Tesla, before the Model S, before SpaceX, and before Elon became the world's richest man, would you at least have wanted to know how? If there was a way you could have partnered with Jeff Bezos when he was planning Amazon.com and it could have made you a fortune, would you at least have wanted to know about it? Well, what if there was a fintech company today that is about to capture major market share worldwide, where millions of people will be using its breakthrough technology and you could make an absolute fortune? Would you at least want to know about it? At the same time that we are experiencing record inflation, gas prices through the roof and headed towards a recession, the move towards crypto adoption worldwide is picking up pace and the evidence is all around us. Big names and big money players are jumping in the game like crazy. The Staples Center, where the LA Lakers play, is now the Crypto.com Center. The Super Bowl, the most expensive commercial time on television, featured 6 cryptocurrency ads. Tom Brady, Matt Damon, LeBron James, and Larry David all made appearances in them. Facebook changed its name from Facebook to Meta. The rapper Eminem bought a Bored Ape, an NFT, for $450,000. Warren Buffett invested over $1 billion in a Brazilian crypto bank. Coinbase bought Bitcoin Turkey for $3.2 billion. You know what they say, success leaves clues. Whenever there is economic change in the marketplace, there are economic winners and there are economic losers. It just depends on what side of the equation you end up on. They also say that timing is everything. How would you like to get in on the next big thing? Are you ready for a miracle? How would you like to own a piece of Miracle Cash and More? The first to market brick and mortar crypto stores. Crypto on the street, with stores in every major city all over the world. Unlike the faceless online competitors that have no phone number to call, no physical address, and no one to talk to. Miracle Cash and More stores are fully regulated, licensed, and our wallets are insured by Fireblocks. At Miracle Cash and More, we own our own cryptocurrency exchange. We own our own stablecoin. We own our own ATMs. We own our own merchant terminals. And guess what? We get paid on every single transaction. The secret, if you want to call it a secret, is to get involved before the whole world knows about it. Position yourself in front of the masses before the masses react. Here's the current offering. There are only 1,488 shares of the Master Franchise Agreement for all of the United Kingdom. Each share is projected to profit over $100,000 in year one, $200,000 in year two, $400,000 in year three, and $900,000 in year four. We have an exit strategy that projects a payout of over $10 million per share. And what does that cost to you? A one and done payment of just $5,000. And of course, you can buy as many shares as are still available. Now the question is, do you at least want to know how? I sincerely hope so, because the best is yet to come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Miracle Cash and More. The link is down below. But remember when I was mentioning about starting businesses? Again, if you're going to start a business, just be cognizant of certain things. When you work out of your home and you have your LLC or C Corps or whatever you're doing out of your home, just make sure that you separate your personal and your business. One of the easiest ways to do that is why I always mention Opus Virtual Office. The reason why, that business address is somewhere else. Your mail goes somewhere else. It's a separate entity like it's supposed to be. And you never have to worry about this commingling where you can be pierced. Your corporate veil can be pierced. It makes it a lot harder. And so therefore you have somebody answering the phone at Opus Virtual Office. They transfer it to your voicemail or to a number you designate. They also get your mail. They also can forward the mail. They also they give you a business line number, a business fax number, put you on 411. They report to the credit bureau, your business credit bureau. That's just for starters. So Opus Virtual Office is $99 per month. Yes, pay for 12 months, get 1 month free. Or you can pay monthly, but it's a write-off either way. All right. It's an expense. So that's just the way I look at it. Protect yourselves out here. All right. So those are the main things. Victor Marrero playing poker around the world. That's networking on steroids. Victor Marrero. You have no idea. No idea. You're exactly right. And in fact, again, I'm going to have to go through some more archives. One of these days, I'll have some more stuff for you guys, because I do have some poker stuff from all over the world. And actually, it's a fraternity type of thing, right? So the guy that was, in fact, in that clip that I showed you was Jamie Gold, And I think it was 2005. I think that's when the winner of the World Series of Poker got $6 million. And Jamie Gold won the World Series of Poker. He's a humble guy. He's announcing, he's talking, he's hosting damn near. He's a great guy. So it is what it is, but he actually won $6 million. Crazy. And then, of course, the government said, hold on, we got to start throwing down some restrictions. In fact, he mentioned it. He's at the final table with Rhett Butler. So that was the year, 2005 or somewhere in there, 2006, 2005, can't remember. But somewhere in there, Jamie Gold wins $6 million. Rhett Butler wins $3 million, 3.2, whatever it is. And then we have David Chu also winning in the World Series of Poker, $3 million. The money was flowing all over the place. Things were happening. I mean, it was so fun. It was crazy. You had people flying people all over the place. You're sponsored, right? So whenever you guys see me, if you ever saw me, anything, everywhere I go, I was always sponsored. So I never paid for any of my stuff. So speaking of playing poker around the world on steroids, yeah, like Negreanu, that everybody might know, Daniel Negreanu, like Phil Hellmuth, all these guys, Phil Ivey, most people might know these names. I'm like them. So whenever I'm in tournaments and playing, I'm sponsored just like them. So we get to play different than everybody else. And when we go there, they give us cash too. So we can play cash games, untrackables that I called it. And we're playing cash games because they used to give us chips. And they used to not make us sign for anything either. So you get your winnings back in chips, not money. And then you go to the cage and cash out. So it's not trackable until, again, they started changing the rules because they were like, wait, you mean somebody can win $6 million, $3 million, millions of dollars? We better start tracking this. We didn't realize there's this kind of money going on here. So that was the thing. You never wanted to get paid in cash. You were like, just give me chips. It was a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was on steroids. And you get to fly all over the world. And you get to take most of the guys, sadly, they would never bring their wives, or sometimes they'd bring their girlfriend or wives, but it was rare. But for me, I was always like, you're paying for the wife, right? And they're just like, yeah. So I was like, always. I'm like, I'm bringing the wife with me because I'm not leaving her. So she's coming. Aruba, here we come. Australia, here we come. Asian Poker Tour, here we come. I'm just like, no, you're paying for her, paying for me, got the hotel, everything's paid for. You just show up, they pay for your entry, give you a little cash, pay for food, drinks. You're on a whole different level. You don't have to worry. And also you may take it a little differently so you can take more risk because you're like, okay, I didn't have to pay for this. I'm here on a vacation in reality. So it works out fine. That's the lifestyle you want. Play the lifestyle you want to be in. Pay for the lifestyle you want to be in by setting yourself up to be successful, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Get started today. And I'm telling you guys right now, you guys are all here in the SSN Nation. Unfortunately, not that many people are going to hear this, but I'm going to say this again. In 3 or 4 years, all right, I may not be doing 3 live streams a week, right? Because we got to get back to the fun, guys. All right. But just keep in mind what I said. Things are going to be on steroids in about 2 years. And after that, the reason I'm saying this is because it's simple. Interest rates around the world, the IMF, the central banks, Federal Reserve, they're going to reduce interest rates. When they reduce interest rates this time, if you thought what happened in 2020, 2021, and 2022 was outrageous with the cost of living, watch what happens the next time interest rates are down there. They're going to do it. And if you think 89% of the stock market is owned by the top 10%, and if you think the top 10% owns nearly 50% of the wealth, they don't. They own damn near 70% of the wealth in the United States. The top 1% owns damn near 50%. It's below 50% a little bit, but it's close to 50%. The top 1%. 1% represents 3,500 people or 350,000 people. That's it. They own 50% of the wealth in the United States. When these guys get a hold of 2%, 3% loans, interest only, and they're hundreds of millions of dollars, it's a wrap. If you don't have your assets in place by then, it's a wrap. All right, you guys are hearing it here first. So when it's 2027 and you're sitting there looking up and going, man, I can't believe the cost of everything, you're not going to be able to afford it because you didn't put things in place 4 years earlier. Remember, you heard it here first, so don't be shocked. All right, let's go. Miracle Bro. Did Miracle Cash iron out the bank issue, the release commissions? No, Miracle Bro, they have not. First of all, let me give you some expectations. A lot of people aren't familiar with banking, or a lot of people aren't familiar with what happens when all of a sudden you're going from, let's say, $5,000 to $10,000 per month in and out of your account, and the next thing you know, you have something like $100,000 going through your account. It doesn't matter if you're doing merchant processing or if you have a regular old bank account or a business bank account. The bank is going to hold the money. This has been standard issue forever. It's just that most people don't know that, because how many people are actually all of a sudden having $5,000, $10,000 a month, and the next thing you know, you have 70,000, 80,000, 120,000 coming into your bank account. That doesn't generally happen to a lot of people. So most people don't know this. But this isn't a new phenomena. This happened in the 80s, in the 70s. It's always been happening. I've had my bank accounts frozen so many times. It's ridiculous, because it's just like anything else. You start a business, you start your you go in and you say, hey, my business is XYZ. You put on a form, they'll ask you, how much money do you think is going to be coming into your account? You go, I'm just starting out, so maybe $10,000 per month. Then you go get your merchant account. What do you think you're going to be processing a month? I don't know, just starting out, $15,000 a month. But what happens if you're doing better than that? And all of a sudden, after a few months, you're sitting there at $5,000, $10,000 per month. And then all of a sudden it's 50, 60 comes in, and they're like, okay. And then another 50, 60 come in, frozen. And not frozen for 1 month, not frozen for a week or two, generally 6 months. 6. Or they'll do some other crazy. They'll say, okay, look, we'll unfreeze 20% of it at this point in time, usually 2 to 4 months later. Then we'll unfreeze some more. You're sitting there like, hey, man, I got to make payouts. I got to pay rents. I got to do this. I got to do that. This money was based on it's coming in. I didn't get this money from drug deals. People paid this money, which means I got to get them product. You're hemming me up here. Businesses go out of business because of this. And then you look like the one that's actually trying to do something to somebody, and you're sitting there and you try to explain, no, the bank's holding my money. And then people are like, what do you mean? We sent you the money. And then you have to show bank accounts like, look, $100,000 is here, but you're invited to try and use the credit card, debit card. It ain't going to happen. So the thing that's happening with Miracle Cash, which is actually Boogie Gopher Club, it's not Miracle Cash, but I have my beefs with them over this, because Miracle Cash is actually talking all this nonsense about getting a $50 million loan, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, then you need to loan Boogie Gopher Club some money so then they can pay the commissions, because you're in business. It's like you can loan your friend money. So you write them a check, make sure they can pay the commissions. And then Boogie Gopher Club, when their money's released, they're going to send them their money, repay the loan. And since you're related, it could be 0%, no interest needed. Right? Best interest. So again, I'm probably going to be banned from some of this stuff because they're like, why do I have a bad attitude? And I'm like, a bad attitude asking about where's commissions? That's a bad attitude. What's going on? How come you're not doing this? And why are you telling people one thing and nothing's happening? I'm just like, okay, well, if you want to call that bad attitude, then it's a bad attitude. But what I'm telling you is when I got to call up my friends and tell them, hey, do you know you're supposed to receive commission because you guys didn't tell them? I'm like, of course I'm going to have a bad attitude. I'm like, stop with this. You guys are saying it on your live streams. This is what's going to happen. And then none of it happens. I'm like, so what do you mean? People are going to ask. I need somebody when they ask me, just like what's happening here. Miracle Bro, he's in, he's asking me. I need answers. People are asking. So why don't you guys have a live stream so people can ask questions? And I'm like, that's sketchy. You can have live streams when you do your program, but all you're talking about is the promotional aspect of the company. You guys never have had a live stream. That's right, Miracle Cash and More. If anybody sees this, you guys don't want to have a live stream, so we have a chat room so people can ask questions. You're talking about sending your questions via a form? What kind of, seriously? I'm like, man, these guys are annoying. And in fact, this whole crypto space is annoying to me. This is one of the reasons it's annoying, because they should be straight up, be like, hey, the stuff has been frozen. Okay, we know it's been frozen. How long? Why don't you just say 6 months? We know it's 6 months minimum. Well, maybe everybody doesn't. I know it's 6 months minimum. So you can't give a payout. So why don't you just say it? Because you know what the next move is going to be. You're going to go, okay, borrow the money from Miracle Cash and More then. They allegedly make $200,000 per month at their stores, revenue-wise. So there should be some profit there. So pay people from that. You owe people for that then. That's not frozen. So see, that changes the whole thing. I'm like, wait, okay, that's frozen, but what about the stores? What about the profits from the stores that you're supposed to be paying people? That's not frozen. So now they're like, you got a bad attitude. I'm like, you're damn right I do, because it doesn't make sense. I was like, come on. At least if you can't do it, you can't do it. But at least tell people what's going on, or let people know in an open forum so they can ask questions after they put their hard-earned money into this belief in the system. So that's why I have a little problem. I mean, I like everything they're doing, but I don't like the business. Sounds great. It's happening. They're opening up stores. They open up new stores. But the thing is, store openings and giving people their commissions, those aren't happening. And they're giving commissions to certain people. That's another thing. That's the problem. All right. I wish they were straight up. They sugarcoat too much about the commissions or the next step in the process. Seems like there's a lot of stars in people's eyes and they won't give it to us straight. Exactly, Miracle Bro. That's the life. Let's call it what it is. I'm going to tell you right now, this goes on around the world. So let me give you an example. So you guys know that I was buying at the beach. So as long as I was rah-rah shish kumbah, it was all good. But the time I brought down the hammer, when I said I put the X in the video and I told people, hey, these guys got a poison pill in their contract, 25%, up to a 25% increase after delivery. They're not telling you 25% increase like how things are going on right now when Panorama Gardens is telling you before delivery, a year before delivery, they're going, hey, we're going to have to increase this 18% or 15%. You got to send it. That's what it is. Either you can get out of your contract or re-sign this contract and we continue on. These guys are like at the end, after they finish and tell you, hey, when you're getting ready to get delivery, they can say, oh, it's an extra 20%. They can make whatever number up they want. And I'm sitting there like, that's not cool. So when I did that, now all of a sudden they were like, oh, you shouldn't be saying anything like that. Trying to bring down the value of our thing. I'm like, what's that? It's not bringing down the value of anything. I'm just telling it like it is, because some people don't know that you have this in their contracts because you changed the contracts on me. So why are you going to be upset? It's in the contract. I'm not saying any falsehoods. I'm just letting people know. But they felt it was an attack and like, oh, you're devaluing our property. I'm like, look, the property is going to speak for itself. This is real estate. Just because I tell about a poison pill, people are going to still buy them. It's not going to matter. It is what it is. What you guys need to do is not have the 25% in there. That's what you need to do. But they won't do that. But the point I'm trying to make is, knowing you don't have the hotel and all that, you had to let people know while you guys are acting like it's no big deal. It's a big deal. Somebody should know that when they're making investments. So everything's going to work out. But at one time, these guys are like, we ain't going to have no amenities. Don't worry about it. Now, all of a sudden, yeah, they're having amenities. It's all good. So it all comes around. It depends on your perspective. You always have to look at criticism like, okay, maybe I need to improve. It shouldn't be defense. It should be like, okay, I should improve this. How can I make it better? It should just be like, okay, they got a good point. Let me see if I can make it better. It shouldn't be this defensive thing, because everybody's going to win. If you're better, you create a better situation. Somebody has to compete against you being better. If you fail, that reflects on everybody in the industry. That's how it works. So you don't want to fail. You want to try and correct any failures, but you just don't want to give up and be like, okay, I'm just going to fail, forget about it. And you got a bad attitude because you told me that I'm going to fail. Okay, doesn't work like this, ladies and gentlemen. Criticism actually helps you be better. You have to be open-minded. You have to say, hey, you know what? Maybe what they're saying is true. Maybe I need to reevaluate. Maybe I need to look at this a little differently. Sometimes that's what they think, right? So all I'm saying, that's what's happening, and that's what's going on with them. These guys are so busy again, I'm a little ticked. They're busy promoting Miami July 7th, I think, for their big thing, and they're charging people $599 to get into the event. And it's some rah-rah shishkumbah stuff. And I'm sitting here like, hey, why don't you worry about getting an NFT in somebody's hands, a real NFT in their wallet? I got plenty to talk about. But like I said, I'm about to be banned from these guys shortly in certain aspects, because I'm about to start going off on them in their own little chat rooms that they minimize and don't let people know. Like there's a commission at Telegram, a commission group, it only has 200 people. So wait till I get on top of them about that. I'm like, okay, clearly more than 200 people bought NFTs. There's 1,488 NFTs for the UK. There's only like 60 or 50 of them left. So not everybody bought 3, 5, or 10 of these things. So there's clearly more than 200 people that bought NFTs, right? So why is there only 200 people in the cash flow commission thread? And the cash flow commission thread, when I started asking, I was like, well, wait, what commissions are you talking about? We talking about the store commissions? We talking about the cash flow NFT affiliate commissions when you sign up somebody else? You talking about the star commissions? What commissions are you talking about? And then when I found out some people were being paid commissions, that's when I said, what commissions are you talking about you're paying out? Because on the live streams, you said no payouts in February, then the payout's going to be in March, and now there's no payout anytime saying. So I'm just like, how did these guys get commissions when you guys were acting like nobody was getting commissions? And then now the money's frozen because obviously that last minute kick at the beginning of March, you throw in $200,000 in somebody's account, it's going to be frozen in a regulated environment. It's not crypto. So that's how it goes. But anyhow, Miracle Bro, you brought up something that I get a little ticked from. Because like you just said, because you were one of the ones that said, hey, where's the NFT? They haven't even delivered an NFT, and by rights, it's not in my wallet. That's another thing. Well, I haven't gotten to that yet, but that's a whole nother thing. You should schedule a call with them and ask the hard-hitting questions. Miracle Bro, they're trying to ban me, man. They say I have a bad attitude. Don't you have anything good to say? I'm like, that's not a bad attitude. I am saying something good. I said I took offense when somebody's on a live stream talking about he received commission, and then everybody don't worry about it. The money being frozen. You're not receiving your commission. And then he messed up and said, yeah, I've been getting paid my commission and everything's going to be fine. And I was like, whoa, wait. I remember January, February's videos where they were saying no commission till February, then no commission till March. So what do you mean you've been getting paid commission? And then these guys are like, oh, they were paying us out commission based on signing up other people. I was like, I didn't know commissions were being paid out, period. You never said commissions were being paid out. And so, like I said before, I put in there, I said, okay, then you won't have a problem with giving up your commissions so they can pay other people from now on, then, since it's no big deal. And then they're like, oh, don't have an attitude. I was like, that's not an attitude. The dude's just sitting here telling everybody to chill out, don't worry, while he's getting paid commissions. I just thought it was right that maybe he shouldn't get paid commissions and you should give his money to somebody else who hasn't been getting paid. I don't think he'll be talking that bullshit then. Would he? Come on, let's call it what it is. So again, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I can't be in. That's why I don't get along with people too often, because that's the situation. I'll deal with you. You can tell me everything. You can say, hey, I have a problem. Okay, we got a problem. How are we going to fix it? But you don't tell me stuff like I've been getting paid and the rest of you guys, don't worry. Everything they're saying is fine. Everything's good. I'm like, no, you give up your money then and tell us that. As soon as they said that, all of a sudden it's quiet. Oh, yeah, I didn't think you would. So you guys got backdoor stuff going on, and now you're acting stupid. I said, I don't agree with none of this. So I'm just saying it like I am. I'm just a participant just like you, but I'm going to be banned from these guys. I can't get a call with them. I can't. I mean, Micah might come on. I doubt it. He probably won't no more because he knows what's going to happen when he comes here. We're going to have problems. We're not just going to be sitting here going, the money's frozen, because then I'm going to be going to, okay, well, the stores are operating. Why don't you borrow money from them? This is common sense. You're supposed to be partners of some sort. So why don't you borrow money from them, pay everybody what they're supposed to get, people will feel good, create the NFT so everybody has a real NFT in their pocket. Don't tell me about some Boogie Gopher Club, all this and that. Give everybody what they're supposed to have. And by the way, there's some other things too that I don't like. They were supposed to have a website for Boogie Gopher Club, and the website is supposed to be transparent. And you know that's a problem. Transparent means they were supposed to show on the website what the stores are making, profits, the revenue and profits, and everything was going to be full transparent. So then the NFT holders would know what basically the company is doing, and you can figure out the evaluation, and you can also figure out generally what your NFT commission is going to be, right? But yet there is no website. And this is like 2 months ago they said this. So again, I don't, I'm not mad about everybody because the internet's kind of hard to, get everything like you want. But this constant moving this stuff down, and doing this other stuff, it's kind of like, okay, well, what you said 4 months ago didn't happen, and it's still not happening. And now we're going to be in April. It's April 17th. Here we are going to be in May. So what you said in January is not valid. What you said in February is not valid. What you said in March is not valid. And now you're promising some stuff in April, and now here we're going to be in May. So you expect people to be calm and quiet and chilled? No, we're not with the rah-rah shiskumba. All right? Even when I had cheerleaders, I didn't care if I had cheerleaders. Okay? If I don't receive an NFT before New Year's 2024, I'm going to accept it was a scam. Okay, don't talk like that, Miracle Bro. Don't talk like that. All right, don't talk like that. Oh, okay. Don't get crazy. No, I think we'll have the NFT before then. All right, they have actually 2 more stores coming online. They actually opened up that other store over in Cyprus that goes to the UK holders. It's open right now in Cyprus. So I believe 50% or 75%, I can't remember, of the profits from that store go to UK NFT holders, but they just opened. I mean, in this month. So we're going to see what's going to happen from here on out. But they're going to have another store in Cyprus opening up, and they have another store in the UK going to open. They have another store in Belgium, a store in Germany's opening. So they have some things opening. 4 stores were supposed to open this month, because it was in March when they announced it. So 4 stores should be open. I just can't remember the 4 stores. But good news for you. You can always go back because some of those live streams I actually have posted up here on the channel. You can go see them, Miracle Cash and More, from 2 months ago, 1 month ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and the owner's talking. So you can see what they're saying right then and there. And I have the commission thing also. Part 3 talks about the commission from about 2 weeks ago that I put up. And then the part 1 and part 2s for Miracle Cash and More is where the owner's given where he got those extra 2 revenue streams coming in. So that's all exciting, but can they make it all cohesive and work together? And by the way, I will say this as well. There better be some NFT in the next 3 months. Forget this 6 months or 7 months. This is April. There should be an NFT, a real bonafide. It's only an image. It's not even an NFT is just basically an image. I don't. It's not really that hard to figure one out. All right, that's the news about the Miracle Cash and More. All right, DebtBox license. They have those out now. Drip came out. They have a few more, but again, it's backed by commodities, real world businesses. Once again, this is another entry into the crypto space. Can real world businesses and crypto coexist? So far, the answer is who knows? But that's what we wanted. At least that's what I wanted. I wanted something backed by real world businesses, but the crypto isn't acting like crypto. It's not like they're increased in value based on that, because the bottom line to any crypto means somebody has to buy your crypto for more than what you bought it for to increase the value. Or you have to have an asset where the crypto is backed, or the business backs the crypto. So then the business increase in value creates a better value for the crypto. Now, DebtBox is working on that in a different fashion, and Miracle Cash and More with their businesses, they're working on it with an evaluation. The evaluation, they were talking about their evaluation 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we have some people here. We have some people here that are in the financial service business. And I think most of us know that if I have a business plan, that's not worth the paper it's written on. But if I have stores and we have money coming in, and then you tell me from my business plan, we're going to be opening up another 4 or 5 stores, and this one store is making $200,000 per month, that's 2.4 million in revenue. And now you're going to tell me all the reasons why these other 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stores. Now we can come up with an evaluation. And we have a store in Germany making X amount. We have a store in Cyprus making X amount. So we can come up with an evaluation. It damn sure doesn't take a month. All right? Doesn't take a month. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Let's keep going. What I don't understand about Miracle is why they aren't marketing their product via live stream. Someone doing a video, their operation live. Victor Marrero, see, this is exactly what you have noticed as well. Exactly what I'm asking myself. Exactly what I asked them. Why aren't you doing live streams? No answers. Because that would make perfectly good sense to me. You're licensed and regulated. This isn't like it's illegal. So why aren't you promoting the stores more heavily, individually from the business? Why are you making these type of videos that says, hey, get in on this? I'm like, forget that. Give me the stores, because then everybody can understand, hey, my crypto's backed by these stores. They're operational. Look at these beautiful spaces. Nothing. I agree. That bothers me as well. Do you remember what month in 2022 they added the poison pill in the beach contract? King Choice. It was around September, I believe. I think it was around September, October, somewhere in there. Because I think somebody had an early 2022 and it wasn't in there. Somebody definitely had a 2020. Well, it definitely wasn't in the 2020, 2021 contract. So I think it was, wait, 20, this is 2023. So no, it was actually I'm wrong. It was like at the end of 2021. Now that I'm thinking about it, somewhere around the end of 2021, they started putting in that 25% thing. Somewhere around there. I forgot. Well, this is 2023. So yeah, it was at the end of 2021, something like that. Persons in early 2021 don't have it. Like Radel Cabezas, he doesn't have that 25% thing in his contract. And if Mr. De La Cruz is here, he probably doesn't have his in there either. But yeah, it wasn't 2022. It was in 2021. I keep thinking it's 2022, but no, it was 2021 when they added it. Miracle Bro, BTC payout. No, Miracle Cash and More is not paying out Bitcoin, I don't think. Here we go. Poison pill for the beach. I missed that. What is that? When they increase the prices due to the supply? No, price increase. No, Victor Morel, they changed their contract to where they have in there, they can, well, I can't really remember now, but they added it something like they can add up to 25% more on the price. That's what they actually wrote in their contract starting at the end of 2021. When we're negotiating, all of a sudden a new contract comes in, it hasn't in there. So that's the poison pill that they added. It's crazy. Let me see if I even have it. I might have it. Let me go look. Let me see if I have a beach. I'll pull it up. Then I'll go look at it. Don't have the beach contract. Maybe. Let me see. I might have it. Let's go see if I have it. Beach brochure. Is that it? Don't have it. No, I don't have it. I don't think. We'll see. Beach brochure. I could have it. I'm about to bring some things up. Let me see if it's in here. Then we can read it because it's been a while. In fact, I made a video about it. Okay, that's not it. So I got brochures. Where's the contract at? No, I don't have the contract for the beach. I don't have it. Actually, I do have it somewhere, but I can't pull it up right now. Not gonna be able to pull it up. I think I have it. Let's see. Okay. This isn't gonna work. Oh, wait. Reservation. Floor plan. So let's see. Let's see if I can pull it up. No. Nope, don't have it. Thought I was going to be able to pull it up real quick, but sorry. Don't have it. So we can't read it, but it's okay. You can search the channel for the beach. It has a big X on it. Yeah, BTC. Wow. Yeah, King Choice. It's crazy, man. Crazy. In fact, I might even try to play my own video, right? That's pretty cool. Let me see if I'll find it. Let me see. Now, the beach is looking beautiful. I did some studies on the lagoons, Crystal Lagoon. So when we're talking about Epperson, here's the funny thing. Everybody's getting this Crystal Lagoons. And at Epperson, these guys, or anybody that gets Crystal Lagoons, they get part of the door. They make deals where they get part of the door. It's crazy. It's incredible when you really look at it. What a deal. So when you go to Epperson, I guess it costs to get in, like in Texas, it costs to get in. Crystal Lagoons get a part of it. How sweet is that? I mean, I'm in shock, quite frankly. I was like, I couldn't believe it. They're going to maintain everything, but they get a piece. And I'm like, this is beautiful. I'm like, these smokes. They got a nice little racket going. All right, guys. Look, I'm gonna see something here. I'm doing some things in the background as I'm talking with you, so I'm not gonna see any comments for a minute here. So I'm looking. I can't. This isn't clear. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So here we go, guys. I'm going to do this. I found it. So check this out. Since somebody asked, yeah, here, actually, that's the way I interpret it now, but we're going to pull it out so you guys can see for yourself. You'll see for yourself what it says. All right. Let me just go a little more. All right. There you go. See the paragraph, second paragraph. The seller declares. Let me see if you guys see it. Let me make sure you guys see this. Let me see here. Okay, I'm still on screen. Take myself down so you guys can see for yourself what the okay. What are we doing here? Hurry up. This is pretty interesting. I'm stuck. We're stuck. Don't want me to show the poison pill? This is funny. Okay. How cute. Here we go. We're back. All right. We're back. I'm going off screen here. At least I'm trying to go off screen, but it's not letting me. Okay, here you take. Okay. Finally, there we go. Here we go. Let's see. What the heck? I got this situation going on in the background. I see. You guys can see it. The seller declares the buyers accept that it will not be responsible for the increase that may occur in the cost of the apartment that is the object of the sale in this contract produced as a result of the increase over 25% of the prices and the pending materials to be used in construction, for which it is also agreed that in the event that the buyer does not agree with the increase in price that would necessarily have to take place, the full rescission will proceed. Right of this contract, committing in this case the seller to return to the buyers the entire amount of money paid to date, deducting from it 25%, which it will retain as compensation. You see, they can go up to 25%. And if you say no, they're taking 25% of what you put in. Poison pill. They didn't have this originally in the contracts. And the reason why they use this terminology is they have this full recession will proceed. They have this rescission thing, full rescission. So here it is. If the buyers make the purchase of the property subject to this contract, they shall indemnify the seller with the sum amounting to 25% of the value of the property. Ladies and gentlemen, this value of the property is pretty sick. Remember, some people have bought, like, for instance, a $300,000 condo. If they sell that $300,000, the penthouse unit, $300,000, if they sell it for $637,000, that now means the value could be $600,000 and you owe 25% of the value, $600,000. $150,000 you may not have even put down $150,000. The seller will retain this sum for its benefit and will proceed to return the remaining amount to the buyer after the seller has resold the real estate. This is crazy stuff. So anyhow, that's the poison pill I'm referring to. All right. They're saying they can increase over 25% of the prices. So I'm just saying, I don't like that little blurb. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys let me know what you think that means, because I interpret that a whole different way. All right. So there you go, King Choice. You tell me what you think about it, because I don't like that. Let me know what you think. That's pretty serious if you ask me. So let's see what else we got. 25% increase, says Victor Marrero. Let's see. It's not coming on the screen. 25% increase is insane. Any apartment in the high 100K will be over 200K. Exactly. Crazy. They aren't changing old contracts, right? No grandfather. See, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think so. Del Cabezas here, Mr. De La Cruz is there. That's not in their contract. I don't think they're making them re-sign. I don't think they're re-signing. So I think they're going to be fine. But everybody else, you best believe you might have a 25% increase, and that's after delivery. They're not doing it like Panorama, like Zeba, like these other projects are doing it. They're just doing what Christopher's doing. 7, 25%, 20%, 15%. If you're going to rescind, you're going to say, no, I don't want. Now they have full rescission, and full rescission means they get to keep 25% of the value. And like Victor Marrero is saying, you bought a 100K apartment. You put down 10%. You paid 30%. So you paid $40,000. Now the apartment's worth $200,000. You said, no, I don't want to pay the extra 25% or 30 or whatever percent. And then they say, okay, that's fine. We're going to keep $50,000. And you're like, what? I paid 50. Right. So bye-bye. We're keeping the money. That's literally what that contract seems to me. I don't know if somebody thinks it's different, but I think it says. And we're all there because the first people for delivery, they don't have poison pill in their contracts. So remember, they don't have it. It's the people that's going to have their units built probably like at the end of next year or 2025. They're the first ones that's going to have it. So it's going to be very interesting what happens. We'll find out if there's any fallout here shortly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up tonight because I started going off in another direction because I started talking about some bad stuff, right? Bad karma stuff, but it's okay. Get your financial freedom papers. They're going to be necessary, and it's getting bad out here. You saw the stats. It's scary. 32% of six-figure earners, when they start bitching, you know it's getting bad. All right. 70% already are out of control, but 32% of the six-figure earners, you're wiping out the upper middle class. You're wiping out the lower middle class. So we're going to have a two-tier system here pretty soon. So you don't want to be a part of that. You want to be in the middle, then you need to get passive income set up. Do it now. All right. Questions, you can comment down below this video, but I'm going to wrap this up a little bit early on the Wednesday live stream at 8:50 p.m. Remember, only icon that can be in the chat room on Wednesday night. Everybody can watch, everybody can listen, but not everybody can be in the chat room on Wednesday night lives at 8:50 p.m. And again, that's where members only with icon can be in the chat room. So please join this conversation, and then hope to see you on Friday night at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another rendering and Rorus and Rockets event. It's going to be here. And in this with that thing, we got lifestyles to consider here, lifestyles to think about, because an ordinary lifestyle, you're going to have to make more. Let's just say you had to make twice as much money now than you make now. If you want to go have fun around the world or in the United States or wherever you want to go, whatever you like to do, you want to go do that and not have to look over your shoulders or worry about getting back to work. You can go back anytime you want, things like that. Then you have to start investing, use most of your money to make investments. You're going to have to go like starving student type mode here, because you're going to need assets that pay you more than ever over the next 2 to 4 years. Because the fourth year, that's when things are going to go sideways, because interest rates are going to be way down, back down to whatever they can get them down to, 2-3%. All right. And that's when the borrowing is going to be off the charts. All right. So keep that in mind. I'm going to keep saying it. I want to play something for you that I might have to take away before we end this, because this is from the Wall Street movie. All right. Money never sleeps. And I got to play this every now and then just to remind you guys of everything. All right. Remember, this was made maybe 10 years ago now.
You're all pretty much fucked. You don't know it yet, but you're the ninja generation.
Why is this playing? Okay. This is cute. All right, let's go this.
You're all pretty much fucked. You don't know it yet, but you're the ninja generation. No income, no job, no assets. You got a lot to look forward to.
Blood, buddy, is gonna be your blood.
Someone reminded me the other evening that I once said greed is good. Now it seems it's legal. But folks, you know, it's greed that makes my bartender buy 3 houses he can't afford with no money down. And it's greed that makes your parents refinance their $200,000 house for $250,000. And then they take that extra $50,000, they go down to the mall. And they buy a plasma TV, cell phones, computers, an SUV, and hey, why not a second home while we're at it? Because gee whiz, I mean, we all know the prices of houses in America always go up, right? And it's greed that makes the government in this country cut the interest rates to 1% after 9/11, so we could all go shopping again. They got all these fancy names for trillions of dollars of credit. CMOs, CDOs, SIVs, ABSs. You know, I honestly think there's maybe only 75 people in the world who know what they are. But I'll tell you what they are. They're WMDs. Weapons of mass destruction. When I was away, that's what they are. It seemed like greed got greedier with a little bit of envy mixed in. Hedge funders were walking home with 50, 100 million bucks a year. So Mr. Banker, he looks around and he says, my life looks pretty boring. So he starts leveraging his interests up to 40, 50 to 1. With your money, not his, yours. Because he could. You're supposed to be borrowing, not them. And the beauty of the deal, no one is responsible. Because everybody's drinking the same Kool-Aid. Last year, ladies and gentlemen, 40% of all American corporate profits came from financial services. Not production, not anything remotely to do with the needs of the American public. The truth is, we're all part of it now. Banks, consumers, we're moving money around in circles. We take a buck, we shoot it full of steroids, and we call it leverage. I call it steroid banking. Now, I've been considered a pretty smart guy when it comes to finance.
That's fantastic, man.
and maybe I was in prison too long, but sometimes it's the only place to stay sane and look out through those bars and say, hey, is everybody out there nuts? It's clear as a bell to those that pay attention. The mother of all evil is speculation. Leveraged debt. Bottom line, it's borrowing to the hilt. And I hate to tell you this, but it's a bankrupt business model. It won't work. It's systemic, malignant, and it's global. Like cancer. It's a disease, and we gotta fight back. How are we gonna do that? How are we going to leverage that disease back in our favor? Well, I'll tell you. 3 words. Buy my book.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, guess what? You don't have to buy any book. You guys already have seen the playbook. He reminded you in this awesome scene from Money Never Sleeps. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't hard to read the tea leaves. It's happened before. Notice he said after 9/11, reducing the interest rate down to 1%. You know what he's talking about. The top 10 percenters, interest-only loans at 1%, not you, them. So they can go out there and borrow money to the hilt, as he said. It's happening now again. But it's not going to be the deficit for you. You got to start thinking about, hey, I better start getting some of these assets they're getting on. I know it's going to cost us more money. We don't get 1%, 2% loans, right? It's going to cost us more money. But if you don't get the asset, guess who's going to be snapping it up? Those guys. And then you're blacked out, right? It's almost like when they bought, what was that car company, Tucker? He might have had better cars, but they said, oh my, they buy up technology, they buy up car companies, they buy up competing companies before they can get big enough to compete against you, and then they mothball them. You'll never see the light of day. Same type of stuff has been going on for hundreds of years here in America, in a capitalist society, and around the world. Same thing is happening now. If you don't get the assets, guess who's going to be getting them? The top 10 percenters. And instead of 32% of 6-figure earners feeling financial pressure, it's going to be 50, then 60, then 70. And where's it going to end? What, you're going to make $400,000 and still feel financial pressure every year? That's where it's going to end, ladies and gentlemen. Except before you get to that, everybody else crumbles, and you're going to have 200 million people crumbling, living in poverty. And guess what happens then? The other 100 million that's making all the money, they're not going to be taking care of you. You're going to be down here slaying dragons. And there's a lot of bad dragons out here. And if you're not one of them, you're not going to be able to cope. Let's just call it what it is. We got to be real here, because it's real out here in the field. All right? So I'm just telling you, I'm forewarning you. I've been saying this for years. So here we go. That's 25% of the current property value, not the original value. Then you have to wait until they sell the apartment. So they're getting money from you and the new buyer. Great deal. Where do I sign? Exactly, Victor Marrero. That's how I looked at it. I looked at it the same way. I'm just like, wait, they're keeping all my money that I put down. And then not only they already have that in-house, they're sitting there telling me, but wait, we're going to sell it. Then we're going to give you back your money. Well, actually, we're not going to give you back anything. We're going to sell it, and you're going to pay us 25% of the value, even though you only gave them 40% of what you contracted for, but now the value is going to be double. If not well, it's going to be double for sure. So now I put down $40,000 on $100,000. but that 100 grand condo is worth 200, and I got to give them 25% of 200, which is 50 grand. So they keep my 40, and I get nothing back. And then they turn around and got another deal. Like Victor Morero said, great deal. Where do I sign up? I'm just like, this is incredible. Incredible. So they actually make $250,000 on a $100,000 condo. It's incredible. Where do we sign up? Mr. Wilson Koo is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. The man with the loans is here. He has the icon next to his name. And it's very nice to see you once again. He brings his tagline, good morning, Mr. Bird and SSN family. 100% facts, and he sells money because you can get loans of all kind of calibers from this man. Business loans, real estate loans, commercial loans. He's the man, but right now, you know, it's hard because as you guys know, if you checked out the latest video, you know Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary from the United States, said, hold on now. We got to start tightening debt, tightening credit. We just can't let you guys get out of here with borrowing. We're going to start tightening up the credit. So the credit markets are going to get tight. I told you guys this was going to happen last year. I'm sounding more like I told you so stuff. This is like not rocket science in reality. They do the same playbook all the time. They're going to tighten up credit. And then let's call it what it is, tighten up credit for you. Meanwhile, the same guys that can borrow money and get free money and all that, they'll still be able to borrow money. Not you, though. They're going to start, saying, oh, you need a 760 credit score for something you could have gotten a 680 credit score before. That's what they're going to do, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to tighten up the reins on you. All right. So Victor Wilson Koo's out here trying to help people. If you need a loan, go see him. Go talk to him. And I'm talking about unconventional type loans because he has people that help you out. Quick Easy Funds. That's QUIK. E as in Eric, Z as in Zebra, funds.com, quickeasyfunds.com, or send me an email at support@stopstrugglingnow, and I will forward your email and information to Mr. Wilson Koo, and he can contact you if you need some lending or business funding. This is the man. All right, let's see. He's like busy working and listening. I know you're busy working, Wilson Koo. He's always working hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, but very, very happy that you're in the house. And Wilson Koo says evening at Laverne. That's Mr. Cool, Victor M, James Way, Curtis D, and the gang showing the love out here. That's what we do here in the house. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe and click the all notification bell and tell other people about this because they don't know that they're in danger of being wiped out. Like James Way said, guess how much tents have went up? 50 to 100%. I wonder why. And it's not because a lot more people are going camping, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Good luck trying to get loans if you have less than 700. There you go. What did I tell you? There you go. I'm trying to tell you now. What you used to be able to do, they're going to say, I'm sorry, we're credit tightening now. You could have had a 680 credit score and we could have given you a 4% loan back in the day, but now you need that 720. 740, 760, sooner or later, 780, sooner or later, 800 if they want to. But that's where we're going. And you guys have to understand, you don't want to be on that credit card situation. You need that passive income. So you're going to have to do something radical for you. So he's on the market. He's letting us know he's in the business, ladies and gentlemen. I just know generally from historical standards what they're going to do. All right. So he's saying under 700, forget about it. So that means we're back to the old days where you need a 720 and up, and 720 is going to get you the worst loan. Then you're going to have to go to 760 next. And then if you really want to do something, you're going to have to be over 780 and over. So that's generally what happens whenever they do this credit tightening scenario. They start doing 720 is the minimum you can have. And that's going to be the worst loan that you're going to get. Then they're going to say 760, your loan will be mid, and then they'll do stuff like 780 or 800. Now, all of a sudden, that'll be the best loans that we'll give you. And a lot less people have scores once we reach 800s, right? 780 to 800 is a whole small window. All right. And that's very hard in this day and age because most people are already living paycheck to paycheck. Most people, even six-figure earners, paycheck to paycheck, stressed financially. So they're out there borrowing as well. And unfortunately, you're generally going to have high interest, high credit card limits, and you're going to spend it. So your debt to income or debt utilization is going to be way off. So your credit scores are going to be down generally. And so people will do the unthinkable. They'll say, okay, I'll pay 7% for whatever. I'll pay an extra percentage point for borrowing. And you get yourself in more trouble because now you're borrowing at a higher rate and inflated prices. And now you possibly are going to pay more money on all your expenses across the board, which now means you're going to be in a deficit scenario. So you need that passive income. All right, need to drop those ratios and rates are not looking good for the multiplex investments. Going to need 25 to 30% skin in the game. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. You see what I'm talking about? We already see, you guys, we're already ahead of the game. Remember when I always said, when I talk about multifamily properties, and I'd always say 25%, even though you could get away with 20, this is why. Because this was going to happen sooner or later. So you guys already knew you needed 25%, 30%, he's saying now. And you guys already know in pre-construction world, we already put down 30%, 40% in some cases. So you got your skin, you got the right skin in the game. You have an evaluation that's going to be higher than what you're buying it for. So your debt to loan ratio is going to be lower. That's what's going to happen. So there we go. Whoa, soon they will tag 725 as high risk. Exactly. How times change, getting jammed up from all angles, getting the heck out of here. Yes, Victor Morel, you got it. You got it. That's exactly what's going to happen. 725 is going to be the high risk. 760 is going to be the mid. Then they're going to do this 780 to 800. You're good. That's going to be the better scores. I don't know what's happening. Maybe Wilson Koo will tell us right now, but he's already let the cat out the bag when he mentioned 700 and up. So now you understand why you need smart credit, ladies and gentlemen. That's a credit monitoring system, the best one on the planet. They monitor all three, and you can send in letters that they have on their site. You can also figure out how to improve your credit score because they tell you if you pay by X amount date, your credit score could go up 6 points here, 3 points there. So that helps you. There's no other credit monitoring system that does that for this price. So get your smart credit started now. They had a promotion going on where you literally paid like $1 for 6 months. And then on the fifth or 6 months, it went up to like $19.99 or $19.95 or $22.95. It depends on the promotion. But you guys should really get smart credit because not only that, if you ever get hacked, identity theft and fraud, anybody in your household, including yourself, they cover it up to $1 million. So that'll help you out, get straightened out as well. So that's something in this day and age that's worth its weight in gold. And they help with the hiring index score, which is awesome. They also help with the FICO auto credit score in case you want to get an auto loan, which you should not be doing that right now. But again, all of that comes into play to help get your credit score as high as you can. So a lot of people out here are sitting there going, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but not knowing that all of a sudden you got a 725, let's say, like Victor Morel's talking about, and they're talking about, oh yeah, you get an interest rate of 7% for a house, let's say. All right. So that's what's going to happen. You're going to be like, wait, I have a 750. What's the problem? Oh, 7%. I have a 760. Okay, 6.5. If you want something lower than that, then you got to have an 800. That's what's going to literally start happening, especially if Janet Yellen, who is the Treasury Secretary, if she's saying things like this, it's going to go down. All right. Just keep that in mind. So you got to be prepared all the way around, ladies and gentlemen. You want your financial freedom papers? It's not just the one thing that you have to do. There's like 3 things you have to take care of. All right. You want to put yourself in position. So you want to be able to borrow because there's going to be deals out here. In fact, there's deals everywhere, quite frankly. You just got to find them. You want to be able to borrow because who's going to have 200,000 or 2 million or 5 million sitting around, right? I mean, you don't. So therefore, where are you going to get it from? Well, you're going to have to figure out a good excuse and come up with reasons why somebody's going to loan you that. So either it's going to be the deal that you found, or it's going to be the credit, or it's going to be something else. So all I'm saying is you got to put yourselves in position. You can buy assets, and then you can borrow against your assets, like he was saying in Money Never Sleeps, right? He goes, yeah, they're out here buying RVs, going down to the mall, doing all this, buying TVs, doing all this stuff, wasting their money. No, you buy assets, and like I always say and keep saying this year, you're going to go buy assets that pay you. That's what you're going to do. That's what we're talking about here. Everybody here who's buying something in Punta Cana, we're going to have a situation right now. Let's say Raydel Cabezas, right? He's perfect. Mr. De La Cruz, when he comes here, he's perfect. These guys are in a situation where they could have $300,000 of equity once their units are built. That goes a long way if somebody says, hey, you can take out 200 grand. Now, remember, they're not going to owe 300,000. Remember that. They've already put down 90%. So really they owe 210, let's say, but the property is worth 600, right? That's 390,000 in equity. They can tap into that equity. When interest rates come down, you're going to want to tap into it. And you could take out 250,000. You can buy $1 million property. That's cash flowing. And now you take that money and you're sitting there paying whatever debts you want to off, including the one you just got, the debt you got yourself back into, but you have money coming in. You're not going out buying RVs, SUVs, and other crap. You have to be strategic from this point on. You can't be playing around, ladies and gentlemen. Before you can play around, you had wiggle room. But what's going to happen in the next 3 years, you don't want to mess around. All right. 725. Mr. Compensation is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And yes, he's here. Mr. Compensation from FL to the NJ. Very nice. Very happy to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Hopefully everything's going great, man. And I'm hoping you're back on the YouTube channel. Let's talk about it. Showing people how to make money. I love the name always. Mr. Compensation. I love it. But very happy to see you, man. Hopefully everything's going great. Wilson Koo, Mr. Bird has been saying this all along. Should have taken those equity values when you had the chance and staked the money to double up or even 5x your equity value. There we go, Wilson Koo. There we go. Thank you so much. We've been here trying to help people, man. And hopefully, and actually we've helped a few. We've helped a few people, man. I've been getting emails from people saying, thank you for talking about this over the last 3 years, 4 years. They're like, man, you done set me up perfectly. So it's a good thing. It's a great thing. Yes, sir. All right. I'm glad to hear this. Mr. Compensation says, I got you. All right, man. I love this name that you always had. You know what? I'm going to have to buy it from you, man. Come on now. Give it up. All right. Make some videos, Mr. Compensation. I want to see something. I know you've been hard at work, putting in some skills. I know you got some new skill sets over the last couple years. So I want to hear about it. Let's show some love here. We got the SSN Nation. We can have people going over to your channel, so giving you some love and support. Come on, man. Let's go. You always help me. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. It was always a pleasure. You guys got to understand. You can see some old videos when we're at the flea market. When we're doing some things, he's there with me. We're up there early in the morning, putting in work, ladies and gentlemen, even though the ultimate thing turned into mush. But nonetheless, at the time, we were out there slaying dragons, making things happen, getting up early in the morning, spending our Saturdays and Sundays, making things happen. So again, Mr. Compensation, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see more of you, man. And I won't be coming up to Jersey anytime soon. But I may be coming up to New York. So you'll have to come and hang out, man. And you guys know where to find me when I go to New York, right? On the island, Manhattan. All right. That's New York. That's where my New York is. It's Manhattan. That's where you guys find me. And you know to find me at the 56th Street and 7th Ave at Majestic Cafe. You'll see me there. All right. Whenever I'm in New York, you can find me on the island, 56th Street. I'm going to be eating there twice a day. All right. at least for a couple days. I'll be there eating all the time because they have my favorite food, favorite sandwiches and stuff. And so that's where I go. And then after that, you'll find me at Central Park, chilling out for a little bit. And then you'll find me usually other restaurant, bars, party spots. That's where I hang out. So when I come over there, Mr. Compensation, you'll have to come up to the island. All right. We'll have some fun too. All right. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. I like the stream. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And I'm very happy to see you once again, man. Got nothing but love for you, man. He's a nice guy, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, he's trying to make things happen, has been making things happen, I'm sure. And also vegan hustler out here. All right. So we got a lot to talk about. All right, we're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen, as I said almost an hour ago. But as you know, since we're in the SSN lifestyle stuff, I guess I'll play one more thing before we go, right? So let's see. What are we going to do for this one? So we'll go. I don't remember that one. We'll go here. Next year, just so you know, Super Bowl is in Las Vegas. So that just gives you a preview. Here we go.
Come on, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we do. That's the lifestyle. One of them. Everybody has a different lifestyle, right? Take your pick, but you got to create it. So come along for the ride. We're going to have some more discussions over this next week because, as you can keep seeing it, if CNBC is saying something, if Janet Yellen's saying something, if reporters are saying something, then it's already too late. That's what you have to understand. They're a day late, dollar short. They just report on the information. That means there's a lag. So just keep that in mind. So if things are what they're saying now, that means it's actually worse already. So get yourself ready. And we're going to talk about it on Wednesday night some more. So hopefully this was a good thing for you, this live stream. Hopefully you understand everything. And it's very nice to see a few people tonight in the house. I appreciate it. But make sure you come back on Wednesday, 8:50 p.m. And if you don't have the icon next to your name, then you can't be in the chat room Wednesday. But you damn sure can watch. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's very hard out here, but that's why we're trying to make it a little easier for you, a little better for you, trying to figure out where can we get these extra streams of revenue? How can we get this extra money? I'm going to tell you guys something right now. You can do anything if you think outside of the box. What I mean by that is some of you right now may be saying, here's the easiest thing that you can get into is real estate, right? The reason why you can get into multifamily or businesses of real estate is because there's a value based on the revenue. So if you knew right now where somebody says, hey, I have $1 million piece of whatever multifamily or property that has revenue coming in, and that property is making free and clear NOIs like $100,000, $120,000 a year, and you say, I don't have the $1 million. I don't even have the $250,000 either. But that's a deal if you knew somebody that would give you the 250 or somebody that would pay the $1 million, right? But a lot of people, how many people's going to know somebody that can do that, right? Well, there's Wilson Koo here that can help you out potentially. If the deal is right, it can get done. If the deal is bad, then it's not going to get done. But you might see something that says, hey, this thing makes enough money that can pay back any loan. So long as it has that, you have an option at that point. You need to contact Wilson Koo. You need to contact me. All right? If it makes money an investor will say, instead of them giving their money to a bank or letting it sit somewhere for 2% or 3% or 4%, and they're sitting there going, I can get 11% on my money easily like this, and all I got to worry about is 1 year, they're going to do it. Or 12% on their money, they'll do it. But if you get 12% on $1 million, you got to pay them interest only. All right, 10% to 100 grand, 12% to 120. So that means the NOI has to be well more than 120. And that also means the property would be worth more than $1 million. That's the other kicker to this whole thing. So the deal speaks for itself. So you can find deals out here if you're looking for them. All right. Like I said, there's somebody selling a motel right now who's willing to give you a $200,000 owner finance, and long as you buy it for 600 grand. I'm just like, what the frick is going on? Literally giving it away. Giving it away. He's giving you the down payment money and saying, forget about the loan. I'll give you the 200,000, make it like a 200,000 down, and then just pay me monthly. Which means now you got to put skin in the game because you're going to have to run the business. So not only are you going to pay him his whatever interest on his 200K, but you still got to remember, owe him 600 total. So in essence, this is a crazy deal. I haven't looked into it only because this situation was a motel. And I'm not into motels that are run very badly. All right, let's just call it what it is. It's run very badly. All right, 2 stars or something on the reviews. It's not worth getting into because you're going to need to do some other stuff. So I'm more worried about the one that I'm working on something else. And that's the one that's the creme de la creme, because it'll be worth 4 or 5 million that you can buy for 3 million, 2.5 million, if the deal can get done. So we'll see. I haven't heard anything yet, but hopefully I'll know something by the end of the week and let you guys know if we're yay or nay, and if we got the right passive income deals coming down. But I'll let you guys know. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, make them down below or send me a support at stopstrugglingnow.com. All right. You can hit me up in an email. So with all that said, just make sure you're out here, you're working hard, but don't work hard and just make it like you're in quicksand if you can avoid it. But remember, I love you. I appreciate your support, your understanding. I appreciate everything for the last 4 years. I greatly appreciate it. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure you keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.